mobile app, and Amazon Alexa. Plus, tune in for a Best of Clinton Sports broadcast every Saturday morning at 10. All brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick, Clinton Athletic Boosters, Clinton Community YMCA, and Mid-State Eye.
Hi, this is Len Casper, new voice of the Chicago White Sox, reminding you this is where the Sox play. WHOW AM and FM.
Brought to you by Enel Green Power's Alta Farms Wind Project, Baum Chevy Buick, Clinton Athletic Boosters, Clinton Community YMCA, Covenant Animal Clinic, Liberty Village, Mid-State Eye, Nan Krang with Remax Choice, your 217 home team, Warner Hospital and Health Services, and ServPro of Piatt, DeWitt counties.
7 minutes after 7 o'clock is news time on this Friday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Last Thursday night, the DeWitt County Board received an update on the wind farm project, which is beginning to wrap up before going live this fall. Terry Fountain with Cummins Engineering, the firm selected by the county to oversee the project, provided the board with an update on how things are going. Restoration of roads are underway.
The next set of agreements that we had, one was basically reviewing the traffic impact analysis to the roadway system, along with review of the roadway improvement plans prior to them starting work. That pretty much has been completed. So then we moved on to basically overseeing the construction of any improvements to the roadways, whether it's on the county highway system or on the township roads. They did start the resurfacing on County Highway 17 this past Monday, and I believe they will have mainline completed by tomorrow. Most likely they'll be working till 8:30, 9 o'clock this evening, talking with our inspector out there. And then they will have some incidental resurfacing to do, dealing with entrances, side roads, that kind of stuff, which I believe they'll try to finish up on Monday. As far as the next item of roadway improvements that they need to do will be basically the seal coating. And they are right now planning on going out there, prepping the roadway, doing the seal coat. They are looking to start somewhere around July 11th through the 13th, somewhere in there, and they're anticipating it'll probably take 30 days to do the work. And we have been starting to have weekly meetings for almost a month now, just to make sure everyone's on the same page as far as some of these improvements between Enel, White Construction, Mark Mathon, and ourselves. However, with that seal coating, there are 11 locations under the roads, I believe, that require a casing and then the drainage district's tile to be placed, which I'll talk about here shortly. So, that may have some impact where they go ahead and do the seal coating, but then the road will eventually be torn up. And I know I've had preliminary discussions with Mark Mathon, and there's things that we've talked about on how he's looking to take care of that issue.
As the project wraps up, Enel will begin the restoration process of drainage ditches impacted by its work, as well as restoring culverts. Fountain points out there's a lot of coordination between Cummins, Enel, and the county engineer.
We did go through and looked at all the culverts out there, both existing, ones that they're replaced, ones that they've extended. And we came up with a punch list of items that need to be taken care of. That was provided to Enel and White back on June 9th. I do not believe they have necessarily started any of that, but those are items that we believe still need to be taken care of in order for us to call the culverts good out there. Also went out there, and Mike Rapier, who's our chief surveyor, who's been involved with, I think this may be his third or fourth wind farm, and he's always gone out there and took care of looking at the shoulders, the floor slopes, so forth. So he actually met with Mark early June just to make sure we were on the same page as what Mark was thinking. He finally got a chance to complete his review and make comments on 35 miles worth of shoulders and 4 slopes. I have sent that to Mark for him to look at. Once we're good with what's there, then we'll be presenting that to Nell and to White, saying, here's what you need to do. Basically, the gist is there's definitely some rock that's on the 4 slope that needs to be either removed or covered up with dirt. So we want to make sure that they do not disturb the soil cement stabilization, which basically provides you with a good driving surface, our driving facility, and then to make sure that those any shoulders that are left as far as aggregate, that there is sufficient dirt holding those in place. So have come up with that list. We've come up with some things that we believe are good examples of what's out there, and some things that say, okay, guys, you still have rock out here. You've got some windrows of rock that needs to be knocked down, so forth. So that should be forthcoming to Anel and White for them to start taking care of. And I'm assuming either as they do that work, they will then provide any seeding that's required, or they may wait till they get it all completed and then have someone come in and do all the seeding at once. We'll have not heard for sure which way they're looking to go. And then if there's still anything within the road use agreement that Mark is wanting us to take a look at, so forth, we'll be there to look at it.
There is still work to be done as it relates to the drainage districts. Fountain explains there could be tiles that need to be replaced.
I realize the drainage districts are their own independent governmental body. I realize there is no control of the county board over the drainage districts. However, within the special use permit, I believe it's item 10, it talks about the drainage laws and also the drainage districts and having their approval, so forth. And I'll kind of tie that back in. So right now, as far as the work that still remains with the drainage districts, is replacing the tile and putting it in a casing, which basically is a sleeve, so that in the future, if there's any need to replace that drain tile that's underneath the roadway, they can basically pull it out of the casing or sleeve, and they'll go back in with a new tile if need be without disturbing the roadway. And that's part of the agreement. Have not heard yet as far as when they're looking to do that work. The next item that's still out there on the drainage district is replacing all the drain district tiles where they had the crane crossings. Not knowing exactly what sort of impact those may have had. As far as long-term, part of their agreement with Anel is to basically replace those drain tiles within those area. And this is the drainage district tiles. And that work is actually scheduled to start this coming Monday. So we will have someone out there observing that and taking some GPS locations to be able to provide that back to the drainage district.
Fountain indicates there are issues currently for Anel with the substation and connecting to the grid. He says that is outside the Cummins purview, but Anel is working with the electric company to correct that. He anticipates the farm going live in the fall. This is the final weekend for the exhibit Prairie Flyers, a century of aviation in DeWitt County at the DeWitt County Museum. Director of the museum, Joey Long, indicates they have seen a great turnout for this exhibit so far this year. She says people are coming from all over the state and Midwest to check it out.
Yeah, people have been quite interested in coming out for the exhibit, just to, view that and take all of that in. And it's drawing people locally, but also people from outside our area. So that's nice to see. There have been a lot of people coming from far distances also to view the exhibit because the exhibit features some of their family members. We had some relatives of the Thorpe family who came down from, I believe it was Minnesota, possibly Michigan. We had the niece of one of the men featured in the aviation exhibit. His name was Lee Gilbaugh, And Lee's niece came up from Mississippi specifically to, see how we recognized and honored her uncle. And so that's really nice. And that I'm told is even expanded into some family reunion type situations. They planned it around, let's all meet in Clinton, the aviation exhibit's going on, recognizing, one of our family members. And so it's just been a great way to draw people in for them to, come and look at the exhibit, but then also, other good things are happening, right? So, family get-togethers and whatnot. So yeah, it's been a great thing. And then, we're also having local people come, and we've had people locally, come to view the exhibit.
According to Woolridge, they are finding people are learning about the exhibit in all sorts of ways, from the promotion through its radio spots on regional radio to learning about the exhibit through printed materials. People are even just simply seeing signs off the highway and stopping in.
Well, we're having people who are traveling and see the roadside banners, and that brings them in. People that, are from quite far distance and had no idea that, we even had this taking place. So they come out of curiosity. And then we've had people Champaign, Bloomington, come down, specifically for the exhibit because they've seen the posters that we've had posted out, and, they've heard us talk to you. And so, yeah, all over central Illinois and beyond. And then also, I know Missouri, Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, Indianapolis. That's just off the top of my head. And that's just the aviation exhibit. On the other side, we also have the house has been quite busy. I had a couple come in. They were from Pennsylvania. And the reason that they were in Clinton is they had seen the museum's ad in the newly released Abraham Lincoln National Heritage Area, looking for Lincoln Visitor's Guide. So they decided to drive all the way from Pennsylvania to come and check out our museum.
Woolridge points out this time of the year they're not encountering as many group tours, but she anticipates that to change when they open the quilt show later this month. You can learn more about the Prairie Flyers, a century of aviation in DeWitt County, by finding its Facebook page. The exhibit's final day is Sunday. It's going to be a busy weekend in Piatt County for the 4th of July holiday. Monticello Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Shelley Crawford Stock indicates things get going tonight with some music and food at Allerton Park. It's the Red, White, and Blues event. You can also catch the Bemint's Country Opry tonight.
Tonight, we have a couple musical options for you. So out at Allerton Park, they have their annual event, Red, White, and Blues. So they have some blues music for you to enjoy out there at the park, and also some food and drinks to be had and vendors. So that's always a great time. So if that's of interest to you, then make your way out to Allerton Park this evening. But also, if you are a country fan, Bement Country Opry is playing here in town at the community building. So a couple different musical options for you tonight. On Saturday, Bryant Cottage every year has croquet all day on the Saturday of 4th of July weekend. So make sure you head out there, play a little croquet, check out the cottage, and have a good time. They make a big to-do of it, so it should be a good time over there.
Crawford Stock reminds Sunday is Monticello Freedom Fest. It is the annual 4th of July fireworks display with games, vendors, and food, as well as a shuttle service that'll take you from the high school to Lodge Park.
On Sunday, that is Monticello's traditional day for fireworks. Out at Lodge Park, we call it our Freedom Fest. It kicks off at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. They'll have kids games, some vendors, raffles, various fun things to do out there in the park to enjoy your time until the fireworks start at 9 p.m. when it gets dark. To give folks who've never been out there a little bit of a heads up, so there's a few different parking options. You can pick up a shuttle here in Monticello at Seavers Center parking lot, which is the parking lot for the new gym beside our football field. And it starts at 5:30, I believe, that you can get a ride out to the park for a donation. Keep in mind, that's not your donation for the fireworks. It's your donation to the folks that are providing the shuttle. There's a suggested donation at both locations. They're all 501c3s operating solely on donations. And then same thing with Piatt County Trailblazers, which is just past the subdivision that is across from Lodge Park. And there's parking there as well. And again, I think there'll be a suggested donation for that parking. So those are all options for you to park and get to our local fireworks out at Lodge Park.
On Monday, Bemint will host its fireworks display. Crawford Stock notes there are still a few tickets available for the 4th of July fireworks watching event with the Monticello Railway Museum. Learn more about all the happenings in Monticello and Piatt County by visiting makeitmonticello.org or finding the Facebook page of the same title. It is 22 minutes after the hour here on this Friday morning. More to come on the morning show.
Having a hard time finding the correct new car, truck, SUV, or crossover to fit your needs? This is Scott Baum from Bob Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. Some lots look low on inventory, so go to our website, look at our pre-order and reserve tab. You'll see inventory in transit, which are built and on their way to Clinton, and in production, new Chevys and Buicks, which are being built and will arrive soon. Or you can always call our sales team. They can help you find the correct one just for you. BombChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
23 minutes after the hour here on this Friday morning. Coverage of news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Sales tax on groceries in Illinois will be suspended for a year starting today under the state budget approved in April. The state's tax relief program will also postpone a gas tax increase until January and cut school supply taxes from 6.25% to 1.25% from August 5th through the 14th. The measures are part of a $1.8 billion state tax break deal signed by Governor J.B. Pritzker in April. GOP leaders derided the measure as a campaign tool for Pritzker and other Democrats in an election year. The plan also provides automatic $50 income tax rebates for individuals who make less than $200,000 in 2021, $100 for couples filing jointly who make less than $400,000, and $100 per dependent claimed in 2021, up to 3. Additionally, the Illinois State Earned Income Credit will increase from 18 to 20% of the federal credit, and eligible homeowners will receive property tax rebates equal to their 2021 property tax credit up to $300. Illinois' 1% sales tax on groceries will be suspended through June 30th, 2023, which will net $400 million in consumer savings, according to a governor's release. The state is one of just 13 in the nation that charges a sales tax for groceries. Lawmakers across the country are enacting tax relief measures like the one in Illinois, in part in response to inflation, according to Tax Foundation senior policy analyst Catherine Lowhead. The temporary elimination of the grocery tax represents just a small amount of relief because there's only a 1% levy on groceries as it is. She reminds it goes back into effect July 1 of 2023. Illinois charges about 55 cents more per gallon for gas than the national average for Thursday. According to the American Automobile Association, the state's 39-cent gas tax rate was scheduled to increase July 1, but now will not go into effect until 2023. The University of Illinois Extension is in the second year of a 5-year farm stress study. They are looking for participants, specifically youth and adolescents, says Extension specialist Josie Rodolfi.
The impetus for this was we don't know how farm stress is experienced by children and youth on farms. We know that the farm is a place where people work but also live. And we know it's a unique environment a unique work environment, that is, and that children are often present. And we don't see that in other occupations like construction, mining, healthcare, et cetera. And, you and I have been talking about farm stress for several years now. And we mostly focus on the owner operator. But we were really interested in understanding, especially in talking to people who have young children, and recalling what it was like to be a youth on a farm, really trying to understand how stress is experienced by the entire family. So we're looking for farm families to participate in our study. So we have a number of different ways to participate. One of the most convenient ways to learn more about the project is to go to go.illinois.edu/farmfamily 2022. And you'll go to the study blog, and there'll be an opportunity to learn more about the project. There's important contact information, commonly asked questions about research, and it also has a link to the survey. So we're looking for at least 2 people in the family to participate in the survey. Ideally, a primary operator and an adolescent between the ages of 13 and 17. There's also an opportunity to have an additional adult, so maybe a partner or a spouse of the primary operator, participate. But all the information you need is there online. You get links to the survey. After you consent, you are automatically emailed another link to the survey. And if you participate and you complete the survey, you'll get a online gift certificate for $10.
Again, the website is go.illinois.edu/farmfamily2022. If you're looking for the latest information on a highway project or travel conditions around the state, there are a couple of resources to bookmark.
One is, to find out about all the work, all the construction projects going on. Go to IDOT's homepage, i.illinois.gov, and you'll see there's a link there you can click on for projects throughout the state. It'll take you to, all the different regions and areas where projects are going on. And another great resource, not just in the winter, but anytime, is the gettingaroundillinois.com website that tells you, about traffic on the roads. Is it closed? Is there a lane closed? Is something going on? Is there a hazard or something, a spill that happened maybe or something? Is traffic backed up? Getting Around Illinois is another, a great resource for motorists 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just want to remind everybody, please be safe, obey the speed limit, don't drive impaired, buckle up. It's your best defense if you're in a crash, and, wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July holiday weekend.
That's Paul Wappel, the Public Information Officer for the Illinois Department of Transportation. 29 minutes after the hour here on this Friday morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. And news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your silver